Hey everybody, how's it going today? Today I want to share with you a few things that I do to my percussion sounds to make them sound hopefully a little cooler than they would without processing. So I'm going to use a track that I recently finished. It's called Law of Vibration. And first I'm going to play with you the basic groove, which includes the kick, the bass, clap, hats, shakers, and the two percussion parts that are in the song. So here's the groove by itself. So you can probably already hear the two percussion sounds there. One is a tom, and the other is what I call a toned percussion, but in actuality it's a processed woodblock. Both of these sounds I'm playing in the Battery 4 sampler from Native Instruments, and the tom is from the Wave Alchemy Drum Tools '01 collection, and the woodblock is from the Battery 4 factory library. First I'll show you what I did with the tom. So here's the tom sound. Whoops, that's the reverb. Here's the tom sound, the way it sounds now. Okay, now if I take off all the effects, you'll hear how it sounds. The original sound. As you can hear, it's very beefy, and it doesn't really have a rhythm. It does work within the context of the track without a rhythm. You'll hear it here. But to me it lacks a little bit of character, and I thought it could do a little more to the rhythm if I had more hits. So instead of actually programming more tom hits in it, I put a delay line on it to add extra echoes that basically are in time with the music. But the first thing I did with the tom is I applied some EQ. Because as you can hear, probably hear, this is a very beefy sound and it has a lot of low end. If you look at the spectrum analyzer in Logic's channel EQ, you can see right here that there's a lot of low end below 100 Hertz. And normally you don't really want that because that's going to fight the kick and the bass. So I applied a pretty steep high-pass filter to take all the low end out of that tom. Still has a lot of punch. Then I used Soundtoys Echo Boy to put some echoes on it. And within Echo Boy, I applied a little bit of a low-cut and high-cut filters so that each echo had a little less beefiness to it. Next thing I did is I put it into a little bit of a tom room sound using Logic's Space Designer reverb. So you can hear that adds a little bit of ambience. And then lastly, I sent a little bit of the tom sound to another Logic Space Designer reverb unit on a bus to put it into a bigger room. And this Space Designer sound is a drum plate. Okay, now I'm going to show you what I did with the tone percussion. So there's the tone percussion sound as it is now. I'm taking off all the effects. Here it is without effects. Now, the first thing that I've noticed about the sound is it has a very sharp high end, and I don't think you want a lot of instruments in dance music with sharp high end, except for like hats and shakers, for example, but even those not always. So the first thing I did was within the battery interface, I applied a little bit of a low pass filter to take the high end off. That's how it sounds without the filter. There it is with the filter on. You can hear it's like a little bit rounder sound and less sharp. Then I added a little bit of saturation. It's a pretty subtle addition to the sound. I'm not sure it really does a whole lot, but there it is. Then I added a little bit of delay to this line too, just to give the sound a little bit of, to put it in a space again a little bit. So there it is without the sound, without the Echo Boy. Now you can hear it's got some slap echoes basically. I think it just gives it a little more character. Then I added a little bit of Fab Filter Volcano filtering just to give it a little extra resonance. And then I sent a little bit of the sound again to the same Space Designer reverb that I'm using on the tom, just to put both instruments into the same space. As you probably hear now, it's hard to hear, but it just adding a little bit of a tail to the sound and putting it in the same room as the tom. So here it is again, the whole track. Or actually the whole rhythm section. And that's just a little bit of some of the things I do when I create percussion sounds. Thanks, and I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day, everyone.